Next is the strategy on increasing donations by all donors. First is consistent service, so that all donors do not run away and remain loyal to the Amil Zakat institutions. Serving donors must be done well, professionally, and consistently, be it services at the office or services in picking up zakat funds to Muzaki through Zakat Ambassador. Second, contact regularly. In order to establish a relationship with Muzaki or donors to the Amil Zakat institutions, it is hoped that they will always have a regular contact with Muzaki. Like Amil every month on Friday in the first week of the month, he always sends tausiah SMS to the donors, and the tausiah messages contains health tips, sunnah practices, and all things related to the Islamic religion, so they will always remember to the institutions. Next is provide the latest important info and news. The Amil Zakat institutions must always provide the latest information related to the institutions in the form of new programs, the latest activities that will be held by the Amil Zakat institutions, and next we need to contact for reference. That is to record and collect all things related to the donor contacts, whether it be in the form of telephone numbers, home addresses, emails for reference to Amil Zakat institutions, and in order to make it easier for the Amil Zakat to provide information related to institutions. Lastly is map data. It is a detailed and comprehensive mapping of data from donors or Muzaki, whether it be in the form of profiles of donors or Muzaki, or it can be the amount of zakat funds they issue or other donations that they channel through Amil Zakat institutions, which will be regulated in more detail in financial reporting zakat funds on a regular basis. Zakat fund collections. Fundraising can be defined as an activity to collect funds and other resources from the community, whether it is individuals, groups, organizations, companies, or governments, where these funds will be channeled and utilized for mustafiq. Fundraising is an important activity to pay attention to, where with good fundraising, the collected zakat funds will also be more optimal. Broadly speaking, Basnas has two types of approaches in collecting zakat, namely the associations of corporate and the associations of individuals. First is the associations of corporate. The associations of corporate is aimed at collecting zakat within private corporations like BUMN, state institutions, and also ministries, while the individual associations is an approach to collecting individuals and UMKM, and by nature, the associations of corporate is binding and collective, while the associations of individuals has the opposite nature, which is non-binding and individual. In terms of the number, associations of corporate collects in a large number through an integrated service system, while individual associations serve collections in relatively small numbers with the nature of customized services. The market segment of corporate associations is also more homogeneous than the associations of individuals who have in heterogeneous market segments. The body collections has three types of products, namely, first is corporate zakat, which consists of commercial zakat and corporate zakat. Second, professional zakat, which aims to collect these funds for employees through zakat collecting unit or UPZ or through the payroll system. Third is the synergy of the Basnas program with the CSR of various national Islamic banks has resulted in empowerment programs such as Zakat Community Development, Basnas Healthy Home Smart House for the nation's children, and Basnas Prosperous House, and also a disaster emergency response. Next is the associations of individuals. On the other hand, the individual society's approach has more products than the body mobilizations program. The programs that are part of the individual associations are as follows. A. Bank and insurance linkage. This program aims to collect ZIS funds from customers and provide convenience for ZIS payments through banks. These collaborations involve several national Islamic banks. B. Retail stores. This program aims to collect customer ZIS funds through the opening of Zakat payment point. C. Funding website. This program also improves the service functions on the Basnas web, which makes the site one of the ZIS fundraising channels. D. Direct selling. This program aims to increase the Basnas collection network by increasing the number of individual prime muzaki. E. Cellular funding. This program aims to raise ZIS funds via cellular phones through the products offered. F. Social media. This program aims to increase the public interactions and awareness of the importance of zakat through social media. Basnas markets its ZIS services and distributions program. G. Overseas funding. This program aims to raise ZIS funds abroad as well as to open retail ZIS services for overseas. Corporations that has been established in the context of implementing this program is with organizations based abroad. H. Advertising. This program aims to raise retail ZIS funds from the general public through the marketing of Basnas and its services. Muzaki constructions. In Islam, zakat occupies a very important position. Zakat is not only a pillar of Islam, but also an indicator and determinant of whether a person becomes a religious brother or not. That is, if a Muslim has been subject to obligatory zakat, but doesn't want to pay zakat, then he is no longer a brother in religion. This is clearly stated in the Quran. If they repent, pray, and pay zakat, then they will become your brothers in religions. Quran Surah 5.8. In order to motivate and build a society that obeys zakat, Islam not only announces a very harsh punishment for its refusal, and provides a very large jaza for those who carry it out. More than that, various credit points including guarantees for the distributions of blessings and multiplications of assets for those who pay zakat. Zakat has great wisdoms for muzaki, for mustahik, and for the Muslim community in general. For muzaki, for example, zakat means educating the human soul to love, to sacrifice, and to cleanse the soul of the miserly from the arrogant nature that usually accompanies the possessions of a lot of wealth and access. For mustahik, zakat provides hope for change in faith and at the same time eliminates the nature of envy and uzon towards the rich so that the gap between the rich and the poor can be eliminated. And for the Muslim community, through zakat, there will be an even distributions of income and property ownership among Muslims. Meanwhile, in the Muslim community, there is no monopoly, but an economic system that emphasizes the mechanism of corporations and mutual assistance. Next, we're gonna talk about distributions of zakat. The management of ZIS at the time of the Prophet Muhammad and his companions was applied to the current conditions. That we can distinguish the distributions of ZIS in two forms, namely temporary assistance and empowerment. Temporary assistance means that the distributions to the mustahik is not accompanied by target for economic independence, and this is done because the mustahik concerned is no longer independent, such as elderly parents, disabled adults not allowing him to be independent, while empowerment is the distributions of ZIS accompanied by a target to change the conditions of the recipients, especially the poor. Distributions of ZIS must be accompanied by a complete understanding of the problems that exist in the recipient. If the problem is poverty, then the cause of poverty must be known so that it can find the right solutions for the achievement of the welfare of the people. By prioritizing the benefit of the poor, productive funds can be managed in professional and economical way by taking into account the norms of business ethic. In order to increase the achievement of the target of empowering ZIS funds given to mustahik, intensive coaching and development is held to accelerate independence and to improve the welfare. So now we're going to an end. Last point we're gonna talk about is case study. Productive Zakat Management at Nurul Hayah Foundation's Tuban Branch Office 2015 till 2016. First, planning and collecting zakat at Nurul Hayah Tuban Branch Office. Zakat management at NH Tuban has several activity plans launched by the Central Management Nurul Hayat in order to achieve the targets for collecting zakat for a period of 1 year. One form of zakat management planning activities within a certain period is to hold coordinations meeting between the Central Management of Nurul Hayat and two Nurul Hayat offices throughout Indonesia. Then, the results of the coordinations meeting were followed by national conference activities involving all Nurul Hayat employees throughout Indonesia. Meanwhile, the collections of zakat activities carried out by Nurul Hayat of the Tuban branch went through several stages. The first stage was carried out by one of the zakat officer staff at NH Tuban, and at this stage, the zakat officer looks for prospective donors or muzaki directly or indirectly to be involved as muzaki at NH Tuban through the types of programs offered, ranging from zakat, sedekah, infak, wakaf to foster children's programs. In escorting muzaki and donors who have committed themselves to the NH Tuban program, they will be asked to choose between being consistent muzaki or donor or istiqomah routine every month, or to becoming an incidental muzaki or donor, or it's non-routine. The second stage, after the muzaki agrees with the clauses explained by the zakat advisor officer, then the party who then collects donations and routine zakat from the muzaki is not responsibility of the zakat advisor, but is transferred to the task of the founding officer or FO, and it is the FO officer who routinely takes donations and zakat from the muzaki every month, routinely. Second, productive zakat management at Nurul Hayat Tuban branch. Productive zakat management can be identified by means and through several types of activities, including A. Independent Pillar Program. The pillar of independence is the provisions of the main capital for du'afa or the poor to be used as their business's capital in various fields and types of trade that they have pioneered. This program is given in order so that the poverty that they have been living can little by little be overcome and a solution is found with the development of businesses and businesses that they have lived. B. Education Scholarship. This educational scholarship is given to high school and equivalent students who are poor but have good academic potential and value non-academic achievements in their respective school. For selected students, there are routine activities that must be carried out, such as weekly coaching, learning motivations, and others. All of this intended so that the recipients of this program, even though they are materially poor, can maintain their academic achievements and become people who have high motivations into their lives. C. Establishments of superior formal educations. This program has just been launched about a year running. The school is SMP Tahfiz Entrepreneur Huirunnas. This program is actually to develop existing educational scholarships due to the provisions of scholarship to the students at the SMA, SMK or MA level, and at the educational impact is less. The choice is to establish this formal school. The students who participated in the SMP, on average, belong to the poor group which had been surveyed by a team for NH Tuban. Then when they have graduated, they will go to school for free at the junior high school.